Hello, Tanana students. Good to see you. We're going to be doing a spoon carving tutorial. So, if you got one of these from the kiosk outside, you'll notice they're wet. Try to keep it wet as long as you can, and not a problem dipping it in water to keep it soft. And then when you're done carving, we're going to teach you about the drawing process. But for now, keep it wet. Whenever you're done carving, put it back in the bag or put some water. You can wrap it around with a paper towel and put it back in the plastic bag. So anyway. Safety, safety, safety first. Whether you've got a good carving knife, or if you have an X-Acto knife, that could work. Or if even all you have is a box cutter at home, all these tools will work if you use them safely. And sharpness is the key. If it's dull, wait, ask your parents to get you something. I mean, these X-Acto knives, you can get anywhere. Fred Meyer's, Ben Franklin, they're super cheap. But if they can get you a good carving knife, these things are phenomenal. Even a good pocket knife is great, but like I said, as long as it's sharp. So, important part is the carving technique, safety. Okay, so I'm left-handed, so I keep the carving tool in my left hand. The wood is in my right hand. I'm going to use my right thumb to push the knife through the wood. I get a lot more control than if I were to take cuts and just shoot off pieces in any direction. I don't have as much control. I want to take off little pieces, so my right thumb is going to do the pushing. And I'm just going to take off nice little cuts, right? And just take your spoon, work it, round off the corners, get it into the shape that you'd like it to be. If I was right-handed, I'd hold the wood in my left hand, knife in my right hand. My left thumb would be my pressure thumb, and I would use my left thumb to take off pieces. See, I'm not even right-handed, but by incorporating both hands, I get a lot more control. I don't make cuts that I don't want to and lose a piece of wood that's part of the sculpture I'm making. And in this one, I'm making a spoon, but I don't have the knife is not flying in weird directions. And the beauty of this is both my hands are behind the blade. It's pretty tough to cut yourself. I mean, almost impossible. You'd have to work hard, or you have to put your hands in the wrong place, obviously, feel it is. So the nice thing, both my hands are behind the cutting surface, and I have control. When you start running out of control, that's when the blade flies and you cut yourself. And having bad hand position, not following safety procedures, misusing the tool can result in accidents. So we're going to avoid those. Remember, if you're tired and you want to take a break, maybe come back tomorrow to carving, you can wrap your spoon in a wet paper towel, or you don't have to, but put it, dip it in water and then put it back in your plastic bag and seal it up. You want to keep it wet during the carving process. Now, when you're done carving, and my spoon is it's just a stirring spoon. I didn't gouge out this part. You'll do that when you come back to school because we have gouges and different types for that. But this is just a nice stirring spoon. I like the carving now. I'm happy with it, so I'm going to stick it in the bag at night. This is our baby, right? So we're going to put it to bed at night. I'm going to close it in, right? I might leave just a little bit open and set it down for the night. Then in the morning, I'm going to take it out and I'll leave it on the counter for the day. At night, put it back in the bag, close it up, put it to sleep. Do that for about a week. You'll start noticing it'll be drier, it'll be lighter, and it'll start drying out. We want to slow the drying process so that it doesn't form cracks. If it dries too quickly, you'll see it cracking on the ends. Not a horrible thing. I mean, you can still keep it even if it's cracked, but if you want to slow the drying process and prevent the cracking, put it to bed at night in the bag. Okay, now you've finished carving, you've put it to sleep, you woke it up during the day, and you've done that, and now you've been doing that for a week or more, and it feels done. It's lighter, it feels dry, you're ready to go to the next step. So if you like the carving marks, and you like how it looks, it's more than fine to be done right then. Or if you want to sand it smooth, you can use the kit of sandpaper that came with it. Start out with the roughest grade and sand everywhere. Now, wait until your spoon is perfectly dry to sand. If you sand a wet spoon, all it will do is just gum up your sandpaper and then it'll become useless. So the spoon has to be dry before you can start sanding. Once your spoon's dry, start sanding. Start with the rough grit, move to the medium grit, sand everywhere, then move to the fine grit. Finish sanding. Sand it until you like how it feels. Then you can oil it, or you can be finished with it if you like it just like it is, or oil it with a mineral-based oil. Don't use the vegetable oil because vegetable oils can sour and sometimes smell funny after a while. So if you want to avoid that, use a mineral-based oil. I like Howard's Butcher Block oil that I buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. And then you always wash your spoons with soap and water. Never put them in the dishwasher. It's too hot, and that can cause your spoons to crack. So always wash them with soap and water and oil them occasionally. They'll last you forever. So hope you're enjoying this project. Hope you get excited. If you find that you're done and you want to carve another spoon, you want to carve a different design, I'm more than happy to take your designs and cut them on the bandsaw. So you have to draw the shape that you want, life size on a piece of paper, draw both profiles from above and from the side. I don't care what you give me. If you want to put some cool curves in it, whatever you think I can cut out on the bandsaw, get that to me, drop those design plans off at the school. I'll cut them out, and then I'll put them back out in the kiosk with your name on them, and you can try your new design. So I'm excited to see what you can come up with.